Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Rizwana Anjum, MDS Department of Prosthodontics, and today we are going to discuss about the teeth arrangement in complete dentures. So there are some ideal requirements to arrange the anterior teeth and the posterior teeth. So like the phonetics and aesthetic influence the arrangement of the anterior teeth, and the crest of the ridge and the compensatory curves also affect the arrangement of the posterior teeth. So come on, let us know how to arrange the central incisors, that is anterior teeth. Coming to the arrangement of the maxillary central incisors, from the front, the long axis should be parallel to the vertical axis, and the sidewise it should slope at about 14 degrees labially. And the occlusal plane of the maxillary central incisor, the incisal edge is in contact with the occlusal plane. Coming to the maxillary lateral incisors, when viewed from the front, long axis slopes towards midline at the incisal edge, and when viewed from the side, slopes labially at about 20 degrees. And the occlusal plane, the incisal edges of the lateral incisors is 1 mm or 0.5 to 1 mm short of occlusal plane. Coming to the arrangement of the maxillary canine, these are also called as cuspid and corner teeth. From the front, the long axis should be parallel to the vertical axis, and from the side view, the long axis should be parallel to the vertical axis. And the occlusion plane, the maxillary canine cusp tip is in contact with the occlusal plane. So coming to the arrangement of the lower, that is mandibular anterior teeth. Coming to the mandibular central incisors, when viewed from front, the long axis inclines slightly towards the vertical axis, and from the sidewise it slopes labially. Coming to the occlusal plane, the incisors edges is 0.5 to 1 mm above the occlusal plane. And coming to the mandibular lateral incisors, when viewed from the front, the long axis inclines towards the vertical axis, and from the sideways it slopes labially less than central incisors. And the occlusal plane, the incisal edges is 0.5 to 1 mm above the occlusal plane. Coming to the arrangement of the mandibular canine, when viewed from the front, the long axis inclines towards the midline. From the side, it slopes lingually, and the occlusal plane of the cuspid tips is 0.5 to 1 mm above the occlusal plane. So this is the arrangement of the maxillary and upper and the lower anterior teeth. And coming to during the arrangement of the canine, we need to we need to know about the class 1 relationship, canine relationship. So this is how we will arrange the maxillary and mandibular anterior teeth. So in class 1 canine relationship, the distal slope of the mandibular canine should the distal arm of the mandibular canine should overlap with the mesial arm of the upper canine. So this is the class 1 canine relationship. Coming to this is all the views of the photographs of the arrangement of the upper and the anterior upper and the lower anterior teeth. This is how we'll arrange. This is the pictures viewed from occlusal surface. And coming to the overjet and the overbite, what is overjet? The overjet is the horizontal overlap, which is 0.5 to 1 mm, and overbite is a vertical overlap, and it is about 1 to 2 mm. Coming to the arrangement of the anterior teeth, we should go for the arrangement of the posterior teeth. Coming to the arrangement of the maxillary first premolar, the long axis is parallel to the vertical axis when viewed from the front or the side, and its palatal cusp is about 1 mm short of, and its buccal cusp is in contact with the occlusal plane. And coming to the second premolar, its long axis is parallel with the vertical axis when viewed from the front and the side, and both the buccal and the palatal cusp are in contact with the occlusal plane. Coming to the arrangement of the first molar, the long axis slopes buccally when viewed from the front and distally when viewed from the side, and the only mesiopalatal cusp is in contact with the occlusal plane. Coming to the arrangement of the second molar upper, the long axis slopes buccally more steeply than the first molar when viewed from the front, and distally more steeply when viewed from the sides. And all the four cusps should not touch the occlusal plane. And this is the how we will check the maxillary teeth. It is checked in the occlusal plane. This is how we should arrange the posterior teeth. And coming to the arrangement of the maxillary This is the arrangement of the maxillary posterior teeth with the help of template. Use a template to check the buccal alignment of the posterior teeth, and cuspid premolar and the mesial-buccal cusp of the first molar touches, and disto-buccal cusp of the first molar doesn't touches. And coming to the arrangement of the maxillary posterior, this is how, with the template, check the buccal alignment of the molars. All four cusps of the molars touch the template. And coming to the orientation and the arrangement of the mandibular teeth, this is how we will take a line, we will draw a line from the retropolar pad from the canine to the posterior end of the mandible. And first we need to arrange the first molar. The long axis leans lingually when viewed from the front and mesially when viewed from the side. All cusps are at higher level above the occlusal plane than those of the second premolar. And buccal and distal cusps are higher than the mesial and lingual. And mesio-buccal cusp occludes in the fossa between upper second premolar and the first molar. This is how we will see the picture-like arrangement. This facially, long axis leans mesially when viewed from the side, and proximally, lingually when viewed from the front, and occlusally it should be higher. Buccal cusps are higher than the lingual cusp. And this is how the photographs looks after the arrangement of the mandibular first molar. And coming to the arrangement of the mandibular second premolar, the long axis is parallel to the vertical plane when viewed from both the front and the sides, and both cusps are about 2 mm above the occlusal plane, and the buccal cusp contacts the fossa between the two upper premolars. And this is how the picture resembles when we arrange the second premolar. And coming to the mandibular second molar, from facial side, mesial inclination is more than the first molar, and proximally lingual inclination is slightly more than the first molar, and from the occlusal side, the buccal cusps are higher than the lingual, and distal cusps are higher than the mesial. And coming to the arrangement of the first premolar, the long axis is parallel to the vertical plane when viewed from the front and the side, and its lingual cusp is below the horizontal plane, and its buccal cusp about 2 mm above it as it contacts the mesial marginal ridge of the upper first premolar. And this is how the picture resembles. And this is how you see the alignment of the posterior teeth. And coming to the next we proceed to the key of occlusion. Already I have told you about the canine key of occlusion during the arrangement of the anterior teeth, upper and lower. And once again I will repeat the canine key of occlusion. The distal arm of the lower canine should align with the medial arm of the upper canine. And coming to the molar key of occlusion, the mesio-buccal cusp of the maxillary permanent molars should coincide with the mesio-buccal groove of the mandibular permanent molar. And next, coming to the carving and polishing, adapt the softened rolls of the base plate wax on the facial surface and extend. Seal the base plate wax around the neck of each tooth with the wax spatula. Carve the gingival margin of the anterior teeth with the carver held approximately at 60 degrees, and carve the gingival margin of the posterior teeth with the carver held approximately at 45 degrees, and use a gas torch to flame the wax surface, taking care not to overheat the gingival contour. The maxillary wax denture shows the gingival contour and the root forms. Adopt the base plate wax on lingual surfaces of the trial denture and carve. Next, coming to the compensatory curves, anterior posterior curves and the lateral curves are the compensatory curves. These are helpful to develop balanced occlusion. And coming to the curve of P, the anatomic curve established by the occlusal alignment of the teeth as projected on the medial plane, beginning with the cusp tip of the mandibular canine and followed by the buccal cusp tip of the premolar and the molar, and continuing with the anterior border of the mandibular ramus and ending with the anterior most portion of the mandibular condyle. Coming to the curve of Wilson, it is used to arrange the molar teeth. The lower teeth are inclined lingually, giving prominence to the buccal cusp and bringing them into heavy occlusal contact with the upper buccal cusp during lateral movements of the working side. Coming to the curve of Monsoon, curve of occlusion in which each cusp and the incisal edges touches a segment of a surface of a sphere of 8 inches in diameter with its center in the region of the glabella. So this is the smile never goes out of the style. Significant danger, innovation, especially for the older generation. This is how we will arrange the teeth arrangement for the anterior and posterior teeth. Thank you.